Hi, I'm Kara Carrero of AlternativeLearning.com, and today I am really excited to talk to you about parenting without saying no. So before any of you just discount me and say, no, every child needs to hear no, I understand that. I fully agree with that. In fact, Magda Gerber once said that the child who is never told no is the neglected child, and in many ways that is very true. But I want to talk about how we can turn this around and we can make it a positive approach to parenting, and we can help our children be more confident in themselves and understand both societal parameters of, what they can do and what they can't do, but also help them develop their own independence and foster that spirit of independence so that they do know what they can do and they know what they can't do and why. So let's get started. So first, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room and say that parenting without saying no has nothing to do with not disciplining a child. It has nothing to do with letting your home become anarchy or letting your children run the show. It has everything to do with being an intentional parent and really working on intentional parenting. So what I mean by intentional parenting is that we are very careful with the words that we choose. So say that you're at a play date and say that there are a bunch of kids playing with different toys and there's a little boy playing with a train set and your child wants to play with that train set. Instead of saying, no, you can't play with that train set, what you would say is, instead of playing with that right now, why don't you go ahead and play with a ball? What this does is it opens up conversation. It says that, okay, so maybe the train set isn't available at the time, but the ball is available at the time. So whenever a child would hear, no, you can't play with that train set, well, that kind of shuts down the conversation. So we want to open up the conversation. We want our children to know that there are other possibilities that they can explore. There are other options. So whenever we parent without saying no, we're creating these options. I know that some people have said that parenting without saying no or creating these options is bargaining with our children, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a matter of bargaining with a child. What it is preparing them, truly preparing them for real life, because even if they get fired later on in life, there are still other options in the world. It's not the end of the world, and it doesn't end there. So instead of having this job, why don't you look at pursuing this career? So yes, there are times whenever no is necessary. There are times whenever no is used and when negative language is used. And even if you choose to go ahead and use the word no or use negative language, there's still something to be said for being an intentional parent and using intentional words to say, okay, the conversation does not end there. And especially if you're raising toddlers. I have a 27-month-old. It is so incredibly important for the conversation to not end there. The world is so new to them. They are trying to test their waters. They're trying to figure out what they can do and what they can't do and what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. They're trying to understand society. They're trying to understand family. They're trying to understand the world. So whenever we go ahead and we carry on the conversation, we are carrying on that spirit of independence of, okay, well, I can't do this, but I can do this, and this is acceptable for me right now in this space. So it's all about making your child understand, here are the boundaries that we've set, and you can do anything in here, but everything that goes outside of that boundary, that's not necessarily available for you. So one of the examples that I give is that we don't necessarily tell our daughter that she can't have something whenever we go to the store. And this is the one that's like super controversial of everybody has said that it's bargaining. Well, a lot of times we will go ahead and say that the toys live at the store. So in this example, we're not saying no, she can't have something. It's kind of like the zoo. the animals live at the zoo. No matter what you say, you're not going to be able to bring home one of those animals. It's not going to be able to be a pet for you. So the toys live at the store, and the next time we come to the store, we can say hi to the toys again. We might even get a chance to play with them. Or sometimes we also say that instead of buying you this, what if I spend time with you at home playing? And see, it's not saying that, just because you want this, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to spend time with you. I'm going to spend time with my child anyways. But I want her to know the value of spending time with me and the value of family over something materialistic and that value of money. So again, that's the one that's kind of most controversial. But again, what we do is we try to replace material objects with quality time spent with her, and we also try to replace that desire to have things with that metaphor of the zoo. That the toys live at the store, so we have to say bye-bye to the toys, and that they will be there. They will always be there, and we can go visit them if we need to. But we're not going to bring them home because they're not for us to keep. And then also something else that we do that some people have seen as controversial is that we always say please. So instead of saying no kicking, we say please keep your feet to yourself. We're not asking. It is still a requirement that she keeps her feet to herself. However, this goes along with that intentional parenting, that in asking her to keep her feet to herself and using the word please, we are modeling politeness. And that too is an important part of society. Just like it's important for a child to experience failure, and just like it's important for a child to experience the word no and to be told that they can't do something, it's also important for them to understand what is societally correct, and being polite is one of those things. So we model that for her, and she may say no back to us, but then we just say it again, and it is still something that we require and expect of her. So this is just a little breakdown on parenting without saying no. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's something that you can implement into your daily lives as parents. I would love to hear from you. Successes, failures, any and all of the above. And don't forget to check out my post and get a free printable so that maybe it can help you be a little bit more intentional with the words that you use with your children. So until next time, see you later.